Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers. Welcome to another edition of Defense and Diplomacy. I'm your host, Sultan M. Hali. Computer hack, but now reformed, Australian Julian Paul Assange, the founder of whistleblower WikiLeaks, has created a furor by releasing close to 92,000 documents which are supposed to be secret, and they have created a sensation. Out of these, 180 documents pertain to Pakistan and allege that Pakistan's ISI has been helping the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. However, it is hoped that the release of these documents is not going to affect the relationship between USA and Pakistan. But in order to discuss that, we have organized this program today, which will be in two parts. In the first portion, we would like to take the government's version, in which we'll have the official spokesperson, Mr. Abdul Basit, and in the second portion, we will have two independent panelists who will share with us their opinion. We will join you after a very short break. Please stay tuned. Welcome viewers. We would like to welcome you to the first portion of our program today, where we are honored to have in our studio Mr. Abdul Basit, who is also the official spokesperson. Sir, the WikiLeaks have created quite a furor. We will not go into the details of what they are, but do you think they are likely to affect the relationship between Pakistan and USA?
No, I don't think so, because the US government has also dismissed these reports as irresponsible. And we believe that it is highly unintelligent to attach any credibility to these reports, because as you very rightly mentioned in your opening remarks, out of 92,000 or so documents, 180 or so reports are on Pakistan. And if you see these reports, these are based on evidently self-serving and unverifiable sources. So attaching any importance to these reports on Pakistan, we believe, is highly unintelligent.
Absolutely, sir. But let's look at the different aspect. That the 180 documents which pertain to Pakistan and the ISI, unfortunately, they are being given a lot of credence, or at least they are being splashed in the Western media, letting us to believe that probably they are more important than those other 75,000 or whatever they are.
Yeah, you're right. And there are, do not please forget that there are forces, elements who would like to justify the collective failure of the international community in Afghanistan. So that can be one reason. And then secondly, there are forces around the globe which continue to have this malicious propaganda against Pakistan, and particularly our security agency ISI. They forget that these reports are absolutely inconsistent with the facts on the ground, because on the ground, if you see the factual position, there is no other country which is suffering more than any other country as far as terrorism is concerned. Not only economically, we have lost over $50 billion or so in the last 9 years. Apart from that, the human loss which we are suffering, no other country can match that. We have lost close to 3,000 of our security personnel, including ISI officials. So to say that, and then more importantly perhaps, is that there is no other country which would be more interested in peace and stability in Afghanistan than Pakistan, because our interests, and we realize this, that our interests are intertwined, our destinies are intertwined. So unless we have peace and stability in Afghanistan, we cannot possibly have peace and stability in Pakistan, and we cannot really focus on our socio-economic development. So in order to have peace and stability in Afghanistan, what we have been saying in the last 2 years, particularly, that we are helping Afghanistan in so many areas. For example, we have committed to spend $330 million of Pakistan assistance in several projects, and those projects are going very well. And secondly, our trade is improving with Afghanistan. So these WikiLeaks reports or documents which they have leaked, from our perspective, serve no useful purpose except to malign Pakistan, and even that, from our viewpoint, these reports cannot belittle the sacrifices and the contributions Pakistan have made in the ongoing fight against terrorism. So we are very confident about our contributions, we are very confident about our successes, and if there are forces around the world which would like to blight Pakistan's record, I'm afraid they would not succeed in their designs.
But I would like to draw your attention, sir, to the fact that the United States, as well as Afghanistan, has condemned these reports, obviously for the right reasons which you just mentioned, that they appear to be baseless, they do not have any authentication. And Richard Holbrooke has said on record yesterday that it is sad that people who have taken oath of secrecy, they would probably be leaking such things or some such thing. So the fact remains that the US also considers that the correct decorum has not been followed. However, on the other side, if you notice, no clear-cut refutal or rebuttal has come about the role of ISI. Some people still think that the ISI is probably involved, or at least are quiet on this.
No, I think the statement which was subsequently issued by the US National Security Advisor, Ms. General Jones, that clarifies that these Pakistan and USA are cooperating, and they have acknowledged our contributions and our contributions in the war against terrorism. And then if you see the statement which has come out, which has been made by the House's Armed Services Committee Chair, Mr. Sultan, that very clearly speaks and says that we should not be creating hype around these reports, unconfirmed or I would say frivolous reports, and do not draw any conclusions from that, because if you draw your conclusions you can only draw wrong conclusions from wrong reports. So it is advisable to be factual and see what is happening on the ground. And on the ground, situation is very clear. And I think the international community across the globe appreciates Pakistan's efforts, and we should not allow ourselves to be distracted by these unintelligent reports.
No, but there is probably an aftermath of this. David Cameron, the British Prime Minister, on a visit to India, he apparently is affected by these reports because he has made a comment that Pakistan should not be having good both ways, meaning that we should not be helping out the Taliban as well as fighting the war against terror. And this, you have already condemned it, but I would like to have your opinion for the benefit of our viewers.
We are saddened by his remarks in Bangalore to an Indian audience, and we have said so. And again, I would say that you can only draw wrong conclusions from skewed and self-serving reports. And it is important, rather necessary, that we should not be creating unnecessary hype around these reports, lest we be distracted from our main objective. And our objective is